Today, in Performer's Workshop, we are going to do something a little more deep and stimulating to the intellect.
Yeah, look at that, boy. I see a great big old-looking book in your hand. God, it's falling apart.
Did you find that in your attic? What's that?
As a matter of fact, I did. This is an old book belonged to my father. And in this book are gems of wisdom.
Are we going to learn this
and
music
while
too?
we explore that, you will be listening to some of the classics in the background. We will go down the line, and the first picture is called Stick to Your Bush.
Stick to your what?
Stick to Your Bush.
This is kind of scary.
Here, let me see the picture.
Now, this is not your picture. This goes to the beginning of the line with Emma, who is to interpret her version of what this picture means intellectually.
Oh, I think this will take a while.
It looks like a cartoon. It shows a whole bunch of men picking, looks like worms or caterpillars or something out of the trees. And the people are doing different things. I mean, one guy's got, I guess they're berries instead of worms. One guy in the background is standing on his head, and one guy's just sitting there looking, and one's standing there doing nothing, and there's two of them just walking around, and two others are, one of them looks like he has a girl with him. They're holding hands.
I hope it's a girl.
Two of them are going the other way, and one's lying down, and only one guy has got his bucket full. And I guess this means, in an intellectual sense,
well,
they're supposed to be doing a job, and one guy's doing a whole lot better than the others. And that's him, this one right here. All right, that's a good shot, Emma. But actually, it means more than that. You see, the bushes represent a calling in life. And the people do not apply themselves to their calling as well as the fellow that filled up his pail. They are idling and changing from one
Billy idling.
bush to another, wasting time. And in the end of the lifespan, the one that's going to have fruit in his bucket, or basket if you will, is this fellow here who stuck to his bush, sticking to his occupation and his religious beliefs. Comes out the winner.
Oh.
Hey, this is fun.
Let's see what you get, Squint.
What do I get?
All right, now, there's a long explanation between each one, but essentially that is the meaning. Now, Squint, your picture is called Pick Yourself Up.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. He got the guy down on his knees, hands and knees, and one guy's sitting on his back, and one bastard's a kicking him in the rear end.
Look at that guy's face.
Aye, one of them's laughing at it, looking real happy about it. One of them looked like he didn't give a damn. The next one is standing there looking sympathetic but ain't doing nothing. And there's one there at the end throwing a rock on the poor sucker. And there's a lady and she's offered him a hand up. Aye, well this is easy. Pick yourself up. It shows that for some reason or other this guy got, I guess, bad luck and got down, you see, and that one dude that's on his back's giving him a rough time. And really ain't nobody helping him but that girl there offering him a hand up. So it says pick yourself up. I guess the trouble is he ain't doing nothing to help himself. He's putting up with this. He's too passive. You gotta get up and do something. Is that right? Yeah, that's what I do.
That's very good, Squint. You have said it very well. The illustration shows that, sure enough, he's had bad luck in the world. And when you're down, you know, it's hard to find a friend sometimes. And people will pick on you and give you more trouble just as
But you
easy.
got to stand... This person, this girl here, is really good because she's standing by despite what the peers are thinking.
That's very good comment, and like Squint said, he's too passive. He must look around and see what is happening and do something to help himself. He's lucky to have her to offer him some aid, but he must not depend on someone else. He must shake that guy off his back, get up by his own bootstraps, and show them who's boss.
All right.
Just like I said, I was right, yeah.
That's very good.
Look at this.
Now, we come to the next picture, which is, in plain English, church asses.
It's for Capn.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. You know, I'd get something like that. Donkeys' asses. Oh, and here they are, and they're all in church. And some of them have got donkey faces and others don't. So that means the donkeys-faced ones are the bad guys. And, okay, there's the preacher up there trying
Actually, he's the only one that doesn't.
The preacher does, well, see, some of them
Oh,
just
I see.
have regular heads. And the preacher's trying to preach a sermon here. But a lot of them, the donkeys aren't listening. There's one passing notes to his girlfriend, and this other donkey's laughing. And one donkey's fanning himself, making a big noise, probably with the fan. Two others look like they're bored. One of them's spitting on the floor. Two of them are gossiping. One of them's turned around paying attention to the back row. And one's walking right out in the middle of the sermon. One's coming in late. A couple of them looking in the window. And one of them's smoking. So this illustrates bad behavior in church and things you shouldn't do. So don't do what these donkeys do.
Donkey do.
Yeah, that's very good, Casper. That's essentially what it is. Of course, these are done in cartoon form and illustrate in a rather silly way, but people do behave this way. And if you ever have noticed in life, much behavior of donkeys goes on not only in church, but in school
Everywhere else.
and everywhere else. And this is inappropriate behavior.
Wow.
And they need to straighten up their act.
All right, Flavia.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. I've got a gross-looking one. It's called Killing Time. And there's a man poking a sword completely through the body of Father Time, who's standing there with his sickle, scythe, if you will, and his little time, sands of time thing. Wait, there's a grave behind this man that's smiling and killing Father Time. Well, I would say that this means this man is not applying himself to his life very well, and he should do better. And I don't know why the grave is there. Why is that there?
Oh, I know
This
why.
is a two-parter. Oh, well, that's not fair because, well, never mind.
See, he's neglecting that. He's forgetting all about it.
You see, Flavian, I guess it's more fair to tell you to turn to the next picture. Oh, a two-parter I got. All right, there, John. What could it be? Oh, no, how grotesque looking. Now, Father Time has turned around and cut this man's body completely in two, darling, and he's falling in the grave. I mean, the body is, look at it. The torso is severed.
It's called Time Killing You.
It's called Time Killing You, and there's blood on the scythe, and oh, I see now. Okay, this is a revenge. He wasted time and thought he was so young. He had all this time to fool around, darling, and he never thought about the hereafter or something. And then suddenly time has run out. I mean, he didn't even live to be old. Suddenly time turned around and his time was up. His number was up. He's dying, and nothing has been accomplished. That's very good, Flavian.
All right.
That's essentially what it means.
Gross.
So it doesn't always mean you get to live to be old man like Father Time. You could go any time, so...
So clean up your act.
That is grotesque looking. It shows the blood, too.
Yes,
know.
Agnes, you get this one.
Ew, here's the picture of God, illustrated as the Rock of Ages. And it's got a noble face like God, and there's water pouring out of the side of the rock, which has a cross on it. And on one side, the front of the rock, a man being spurred on by the devil is trying to overturn the rock. And behind it is someone trying to hold it down. Oh, he must be a preacher because there's a church on that side. And on the other side is, a cannon which illustrates war. And, yes, there's a cannon shooting at it and soldiers. And it says infidelity on that side. And on the preacher's side it says overzeal. Well, obviously, the Rock of Ages is God, and it's trying to be destroyed by the forces of evil, war and famine and devilish things. And this church and the preacher are trying to save it.
Thinking they're the only ones who can.
But is there more than that to it?
No, it's just one this time.
Well, you have a good grip on it. But the thing is that this preacher does not need to worry so much that if he does not take the whole weight of the world on his shoulders, that the mighty rock of God is going to be destroyed. He doesn't need to be so worried. This little devil and all his tricks are not going to overturn the mighty Rock of Ages. So the preacher should have some joy and not to be sorrowful and...
Well, there's a lot of people like that.
Hey, that's a good point. I've always said that. Moriarty do it good like a medicine, right?
Very good, Squint, indeed.
All right.
Oh, this is very interesting.
Well, let's see,
Like now we
Lucinda.
go to Lucinda. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lord, look, I got an ugly snake in the grass. And it's got a human head on it. Oh, that's atrocious looking. And an arrow coming out of its ugly mouth, stabbing into a human heart. And it's called slander. Oh, I see what this is. This snake with the human head is the evil of slander when you say terrible things about your neighbor. And it makes like a terrible wound in the heart. Could cause heartbreak and bleeding drops of pain. And this is a terrible thing to do. Is that it? That's it. A lot of people think gossip is very harmless and just something fun. But when you look ugly, evil gossip in the face, when it hurts a reputation and damages someone's word of honor, perhaps to lose their job, to lose everything good in life because of idle tongues, then slander is a terrible sin, as ugly as this ugly snake.
And that's ugly.
It's really ugly. But I like that. That's what the critics are always trying to do to us.
Yes, many critics are like these snakes in the grasses.
I really like that.
All right, Reuben.
Okay, my picture. All right,
Right here.
let me see. Wait, did you skip? No.
No.
Okay. Okay, it shows a huge lion lying down in the meadow grass by a girl that's standing, petting him on the nose, and her hand stroking his mane. And it's called Kindness and Cruelty. This is number 1, kindness. There's a dove over her head with a branch, and a sheep, a lamb. It's like the lion and the lamb of the Bible, side by side, and she's stepping on a snake, a small snake this time, not a large, repulsive one like the one we just saw. The sun is shining over there, and it's a very nice picture. I take it's a two-parter. So number 2, cruelty over here, that goes with it is just the opposite. We see a
an evil-looking man on a donkey, beating him with a stick. A dog is barking at the donkey, further upsetting him. And instead of any happiness in this scene, the donkey is not responding. He's kicking and fighting, and birds are flying in a downward pattern. Well, I would just say that it shows that you get a lot further with kindness than you do cruelty in the animal kingdom, or the human one as well.
That's right. You see, what is happening, the harder he beats the donkey and tries to get this donkey to do his will, the donkey is not going to do it. Where a little psychology and kindness and the right treatment produce the right effect.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, this is fascinating. Sure reminds me of some of my father's books. He used to sell Bibles, you know.
Andre.
Well, that's very good, Squint. Now, here's Rip Van Winkle. And this is for you, Andre.
Oh, well, Rip Van Winkle. Everyone knows that he fell asleep for 20 years.
It says anti-missionary on there.
This says Rip Van Winkle, anti-missionary. Well, it shows him sitting in a chair with the long beard down to his waist, and he is imagining an Indian, something like the last of the Mohicans, I think, and a round-faced, perhaps cannibal person, and a negroid type of person with the kinky hair. So, I do not know what this means. Is he having a bad dream?
Bad trip.
Well, in a sense he is doing that, but what it means essentially is that, like Rip Van Winkle, so many people are so far behind the times that they're still picturing things that are not existing anymore. They need to get up to date, do a little education of themselves, and stop relating to everything in 20 years ago patterns.
Yeah, I've known people like that.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
You see people like that pretty often, really. This is fascinating.
Like turns. Okay, this is...
Jose, you have whipping the devil around the stump.
Oh, this has got the picture. This has got the picture of a man with long hair, and he's making weird hand gestures at the man that has a funny looking face, who's whipping a devil's in a pajamas. No, it's a devil's around a suit.
Yeah.
And then there's a cat in the middle. And I think what is happening is that this man here is someone religious, and he is trying to ask this man, have you done anything bad or something like that? And then the devil is back here laughing because he has done something bad, but he's trying not to let the man know that. So he is saying things like, oh yes, I don't do anything nobody else would do, ha-has.
Well, that's very good. In its essential summary, it is deceit. You see, the preacher is asking him to come to church and to do lots of other good things. And he's telling the preacher, sure he will. But he has no intention of doing these
And then
things.
there's smokestacks in the background. Maybe that means that there's too much pollution and an anti-pollution measure.
Well, that is something to laugh about. I did not think of, but
It really
you
has
see,
nothing to do.
there is lots more detail to this, but essentially, the devil is laughing, and he is not being hurt by these little tiny taps with the whip, because he knows the man does not mean to carry the good intentions out. So the devil just laughs at good intentions. You're not whipping the devil hard enough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Look at that smile on the devil's
Look at that
face.
smile on the man's face.
Some of these people are really grotesque, ugly, beasts.
I think I saw him in Yellow Submarine.
It's not a bad trap like you saw it. That smile.
Kelly G, let's get away from that
Oh,
smile.
it's very sinister. You know, for cartoon figures, these are very sinister. What's the name of this book? It is called Character Sketches. Now, the next person...
Glad it's not my book.
It's up to you, Kelly Jean, to decipher on the fence. Oh, well, there's a man sitting on the picket fence.
Oh,
And,
that must hurt.
well, actually, it's not a picket fence. It's
Split
a
rail.
split rail. And there's an angel pointing up in the clouds toward heaven, obviously encouraging him to do godly things. And on the other side, of course, we see the devil here with the pit and the bar.
There's Squint
Yeah.
getting thrown out of the bar.
Aye, right into the pit. Yeah. Oh, listen to that threatening music.
Oh, see, he's falling into the pit over there. Well, but which man is that? I mean, what does he have to do with the one on the fence?
It's an example.
I know that sitting on the fence means to be undecided, so obviously this man's trying to make up his mind, you know, to go to heaven or hell, but...
He likes the trappings of hell, but he
likes,
wants to...
Yeah, he likes the trappings of hell, but he wants heaven too, so he does nothing and sits on the fence. That's about it. He looks over at others he sees doing bad things and falling into the patterns of hell, which he does not wish to do. But it's too hard to do good things. It's too much of a struggle. So he sits on the fence undecided.
Poor guy.
Yeah. A double-minded man is unstable in his ways. It's what my father used to say.
Very good point.
This is the one I got. It's called...
It came from the Bible.
This is called Two Masters. It's got a picture of, looks like Jesus there in front of a church, and it's got a man holding his hand, and also holding onto a real rich man, like Father Money or something like that. And then next to him's a square-looking hole with the devil inside. And it says...
Look at that devil.
It says, choose you this day whom you will serve, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Well, see, this man has a decision here to see if he wants all the money in the world, or, you know, by getting it by ungodly ways and getting into sin and all
Kind
that.
of like on the fence.
And here's Jesus telling him, well, that's not the way to go. Do it my way. It's easier. And he's undecided. He doesn't know what. He's lured by the money, yet he still wants to go to heaven too. He's completely confused.
That's very good. You see, two masters. And Jesus is offering him the rewards, but a lot of them don't seem to come in this life. That's why we have to have faith. But Mammon, the god of the world, inspired by the devil, offers fame, gold, pleasure, honor, ease, and money right now. So he wants these things. He's holding hands with Mammon, the god of the world, Satan's emissary. But he doesn't want to let go of heaven either, so he's holding to Jesus. Has to make a decision too.
All right.
Two masters cannot be served.
It's too bad.
Most of us try to do that, don't we?
Brad.
Wow! I've got this one called The Perfect Model. Well, it's got a picture of the Lord Jesus Christ sitting in front of the cross in his robe with a halo of light shining about his face. And there's an angel carven out of granite stone. It says Calvary granite. It's got a sculpture in its hand, this angel. And it's making a likeness of Christ, the perfect model. So I think that's rather self-explanatory. Christ is the model we're supposed to follow in our daily life, the example. That says it pretty good on that. There are other things involved. Some of these go on into very long explanations, but that is essentially it, that when we look around with envy at other human beings, why am I not rich? Why do not I have what he has? Then it does good to remember, all right, who are we emulating? Who are we copying? Who's the perfect model? Jesus. So stop envying your neighbor because he has more than you.
Spade.
Yeah. Think back.
Oh, he got the DT.
Hey, look at that. Pardon me.
It scared him.
I'm also just getting over a bad cough, and man, this ain't helping none. The DTs, that stands for delirium tremens. Boy, has this guy got him. It shows him wrapped around with snakes and monsters, and one of them's got a face like a sort of a rhinoceros with the sharp alligator teeth, and the other one's got a human body with a animal's head, got more goat-like horns on it and everything. And then there's a snake with like a dog's head on it. And there's another one down there around his leg. Another one of them dog-shaped things. And boy, he's in bad shape. I just say this guy done had too much of the booze, and he's no doubt an alcoholic, and now he's suffering the consequences.
Or he's, yeah.
Well, that's what it illustrates, that it's like when a drunkard comes to this sad condition, also when we give in to other lust and do not use moderation in all things in life, we become trapped by these little gods that we build for ourselves. In his case, it was the whiskey. And sometimes it's not that, but it's envy of the fellow man, or the fame, or the money, or whatever. But it leads to a trap that we have encircled ourselves with by putting too much of ourselves into the wrong thing.
Yeah, what you betcha?
Doesn't that look familiar, Spring?
Yeah, it does, you know.
That's Clem.
Oh no! Let's see what they did to old Clem here.
There you go.
Oh, this called the lightning bug convention. Oh,
Yeah, say that again.
the lightning bug convention. Look at that. So, whole bunch of look like cockroaches,
No, they're lightning bugs.
lightning bugs.
See their butts? They're all lit up.
Yeah, okay. They're moving up in the sky and star up there and tree and a whole bunch of these lightning bugs. And they're all like in the congregation.
There's the big lightning bug.
And the big one up there talking to them.
In lightning bug language.
Did this have a two-part?
Yes. Well, see, what they're saying is they're saying gonna come up, you know?
All right, notice, Clem, this is a little harder. It's too bad that you got this one. But notice, the convention is at night. What do you think they might be talking about?
How pretty the sky.
They don't want the daytime. That's right. So what they have a convention for? To complain. Yeah, that's partly right, but look over here. Maybe we need to give a better clue on this one.
Look at that.
Now look at that. Oh, here's the second part at morning, sun coming up, and they're all running away. They say, lightning bug convention, the desolation. It look like they don't want the sun. What do it mean? What it means is that these lightning bugs represent little people with big ideas. They decide to do something just because they don't like things a certain way. They decide they're going to make all the rules. So these little bugs got together and decided they didn't want the sun to come up, and they were going to make a law that it could not come up. And they all agreed on that. But as you see, the sun came up anyway and ruined all their plans. That's funny.
Yeah.
So lots of times conventions and committees try to do things that are far too big for them to handle.
It means they ain't really as important as they think they are.
That's it.
My turn. Oh no! Look what I got.
Look what you got. Tell us about this.
This is called Pot Calling the Kettle Black. It has a picture of this person. It's with a kettle for a head, and he's yelling at this person that has a pot for a head.
Yeah.
A pot head. And then
It's funny.